we can't run away or ignore this problem. And I think we need to step up and we need to actually get ahead of this problem. And you might argue, boy, we're not ahead of it, we're behind it. But we need to come out strongly and not just condemning it. I'm so sick of the, did you condemn it or did you not? I'm sick of the, well, thoughts and prayers aren't enough. We're just yelling at each other. We're criticizing each other. There's no solutions. And I want to get to a solution. And I've really thought about this. What is the solution, especially white supremacy? And let me cover the incel thing a little bit. So there's been a rash of shootings, attacks by men who are considered incels, involuntary celibates. One of the most popular was Elliot Rogers out in California. He attacked sorority girls. He drove around shooting at people wildly. He was a very deranged individual. And when you looked at his manifesto covered a lot of his frustrations with him being rejected by girls for more popular guys, jock guys, guys that are commonly referred to as chads, you know. And this idea, we look at them, and one of the articles, I've got an article on thetrace.org, and this article is by Jennifer Massia, and I'll try to provide a link in the description below. But when you go through, she lists a lot of the different incel attacks, and she's pretty thorough on that, and I'm happy with her for doing that. But her solutions are to scrub them from the internet, break up these communities. Reddit has banned an incel forum. I know Facebook and YouTube are careful about words that are used or videos, which who knows what's going to happen to this video since I'm using the term. But I feel that banning is really just the wrong way to go. And it's not just the individualist in me. It's not just that side of me that goes, oh, that's liberty, so you can't touch it. It's more, what is actually the solution? Because you ban them. Okay, you get rid of them. You say you guys are no longer allowed to congregate. You've just marginalized them more. You've given them more reason to be upset and to feel like an outsider in the world. They are now a martyr for their own cause. And they're always going to find a way to communicate and to dispense their information. Germany really has tried to ban as much Nazi discussion as possible within reason. You're not allowed to deny the Holocaust in Germany. It's against the law. But they still have a rising Nazi movement. It's still happening. So we've got these movements that you can get rid of or try to, that you can separate them out. You can try and divide and conquer and squash the discussion. And their hopes are, the hope in doing this is that you'll get rid of them or dispense them enough that they can't congregate and share ideas. And if they can't share ideas, they can't build on those ideas. So therefore, you won't have the problems of new people being indoctrinated into the idea. But the problem is the cause is not the idea. The cause is a social one. The cause with incels, especially, is somebody who's been rejected repeatedly by women or by society and have decided, I'm an outcast. The world doesn't accept me. That's been happening since the beginning of time. The question is, what are we doing to connect with them? What are we doing to show them that lashing out at the world is not the way to go, but in fact, there is a rehabilitation that's possible? And I don't mean a forceful rehabilitation where you're going to sit and we're going to hold your eyes open as you watch this movie that will brainwash you into a new idea. Instead, showing the problem or the bias of the original idea. So here's what happens in the mind, or how you come to a belief. A lot of times you have an event or an experience, you have evidence that has built up to help structure this belief. And the further you go, the more you gather information. And this is an information bias, the cognitive bias that we tend to have, all of us have it, where we get rid of information that doesn't help support our point. We all do it. With an incel, when they're rejected, and their mind goes, once again, I've been rejected. Once again, women hate me. What if there was a girl that liked them, but they didn't have the courage to go ask the girl out? They had an inkling, maybe she likes me, but they were too scared. And she gets tired of waiting, and she, somebody new catches her eye. And that person has the courage to go ask her out. What a healthy individual will do, will look at that situation and go, I missed my chance. I've learned I have to change how I approach this. An unhealthy individual will go, she rejected me. She didn't come to me. She liked somebody else. She wasn't worth it anyways. And this happens with our confirmation bias over time. And I'm not saying that there aren't guys out there who just, for what it's worth, aren't real attractive to the opposite sex. But the question becomes, okay, what are you doing to improve your chances? What are you doing to improve your social interaction? I know people who have no social skills whatsoever. I don't look at them and I say, you're screwed, dude. Just please don't go shoot up a place. I look at them and I go, how can we improve this social interaction? How can we get them to look at other people and go, I want to connect. I don't want to prove to myself that they don't like me. So with these communities of incels, I was talking to Massey about this, and I said, I'm almost tempted to sign into some of these communities and start getting to know these guys and provide something new to them and try and provide reason to them. And in a second, I'm going to get into the faith aspect of this. But why aren't we reaching out to these communities? Instead of saying, go back to the dark holes where you came from, you cockroaches, why aren't we saying, I want to get involved in there and rehabilitate these people and help show them light, show them hope, show them truth, show them what's really important? Because a lot of times the fact is they're misguided on what's important. They're so focused on not getting laid that they don't realize that there's more important things in life. And if they focus on those more important things, they'll take it off the pedestal. It becomes more reasonable, therefore easier to reach out. And there's a real psychology to this of if you put it up there and it's something you feel you can't ever get or achieve, then it will always be something you can't get or achieve. And plenty of people become bitter about this. Plenty of people become bitter against the rich because they feel they can never achieve reaching wealth. So instead of trying to find solutions for how to become more wealthy, it's easier to decide, I've been the victim, I've been held back, I've been discriminated against. It's everybody else's fault. And this is a real problem, especially in our society and culture, is victimhood mentality. If you think you are a victim, you will never think you can be a solution to the problem.